Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stranded Survivors. My name is Matt. I'm one of your co-hosts.
And my name is Jericho. I'm a host of the Stranded Survivors podcast. Matt, how are you doing?
I am fantastic, living the dream, doing all the dad stuff. Kids are keeping me on my toes. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas, so it's exciting to sort of be playing the Santa game and hiding presents throughout the house and stuff like that. So it's nice. I'm really looking forward to spending time with family. That's something that I don't necessarily get to do nearly as often as I'd like to. So every opportunity that I get to, spend a whole day with everyone together is always really special. How about you, man?
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty fun. Sounds pretty interesting. I don't get to hide presents yet, as I'm not a dad or anything. But yeah, definitely Christmas is coming up. Making sure I have all the gifts I need for that. But other than that, I feel like everyone's been sick around me. Um, Working a lot, and other than that, man, I've been grinding Ark quite a bit. Been grinding the PVE server or PVE official server, anyways. Been grinding
Yes.
that out. So that's been pretty fun, couple things we've tamed here, blah blah blah. But yeah, man, that's kind of what I've been up to. I haven't been up to nothing crazy. Watched some football today. That was, not as a Lions fan, not fun.
That was a
So
good game though. I mean, it was nice to see as a Packers fan. I'm not trying to like root for the Lions downfall or anything, but it's nice to see the opportunity for first place to suddenly creep back in.
that is true, honestly. Especially, I don't know. I think they played like trash. But yeah, other than that, man, honestly, nothing much. Just arcing it up.
Yeah, we'll get into some of the Ark stuff and what's going on with the PVE tribe in a little bit because we've been doing some really big things and I want to sort of shout all that out and have everyone be excited with us. So we'll get to all that. But a lot has happened since the last time we've released an episode and like talked about news and stuff like that.
Yeah, honestly, a lot really has happened. Be honest, the turkey trial has just started. What's your opinions on that?
I honestly know very little about the turkey trials. I have not come across any of these monster bird thingies. I have not I saw that there were the holiday recipes and stuff in the craft near the cooking pot, but I haven't like fully invested into researching it yet. So I'm kind of hoping that you can sort of tell me a little bit about it right now, actually.
Yeah, so I mean, the information that I kind of have is, these literal super turkeys, or I think they actually call them murder turkeys or killer turkeys now. But so they run around and you're supposed to kill them. I don't think they just attack you, from what I understand, even though their name is pretty vicious. So you're supposed to have like a giga or something absolutely huge to kill them because they're like level 250. So, but every time you kill them, you get like whatever, like a wishbone or whatever they call it. I don't even know what it actually is. But you get stuff and you can be able to get like event themed emotes and chibis or chibis, whatever they're called. So, of course, it's got boosted rates for everything, which is awesome. That's been very helpful as of recent.
Oh, extremely much so. I really appreciate the boosted rates and the colors that I've been seeing on the wild dinos are really, really cool too.
Yeah. So I just want to, a couple colors that I didn't even know that were the event colors are like light brown, burnt sienna, light autumn, black sands, midnight blue, near black, black, dino darker gray, and dino albino. I did not know those were part of the colors.
So I genuinely, I mean, I we all know I struggle with colors sometimes, but what I mean, some of those sound very, very similar. So I'm hearing a lot of like browns, blacks, and like oranges basically.
Yeah, and there's a couple blues here, purple. Uh, yeah, honestly, you're right. A little bit of red.
I've seen some pink too. Lots of pinks and like I don't know if yellow is
That is
pretty
true.
normal or not, but I've been seeing a lot of yellow lately too.
Yeah, I've been seeing quite a lot of yellow also.
Sit next to a yellow Fiomia as we speak, actually.
So, other than that, that's kind of like, the main thing on the turkey trial. You get a bunch of cool skins, emotes, different things like that. But other than that, that's kind of what you get. But some cool things that are really coming up here for, everything in general is, Survival of the Fittest coming out. We talked about that a little bit before. On the 20th is officially coming out. And I think I'm going to be playing that day one.
I probably will too. I don't know if I'm gonna play like the whole night, but I'm definitely gonna run 5 to 10 probably and test my metal.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna make a little fun video on it. Maybe stranded survivors, best survival of the fittest people in the world. No, I don't know, but
Let's go.
we'll definitely do that.
We got to figure out how to get like a survival of the fittest event going on or something like that. Find a server that's
Man,
running one, do a Squid Games type thing or something.
yeah, that'd be cool, honestly. But I think there's a lot of content and just fun things to do in that in general.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
I am also honestly looking.
Have we figured out yet how they're going to do it? Because I mean, we last week had the debate for whether or not it was like airdropping from a Quetzal or like sitting on a metal podium in the beginning, like the Hunger Games. I mean, have we had confirmation one way or the other for what that's going to look like?
No, I don't think we've had any confirmation, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who knows? Honestly, like I said, we kind of talked about it a little bit, so at least, but still wanted to get it in there just so everyone remembers. Other than that, some of the cool things, or like, I would say the biggest thing probably on all of the community crunch here would be Cryopods, man. They're coming back this month. They're coming back.
Yes, I hear the 20th as well is what the whispers are telling me.
That's what I'm being told also. So, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. Cryopods, I even think, did we hint on them a little bit last episode, or is that just us kind of been talking a little bit?
We hinted that they were coming. We knew that they were, coming in a near update. We knew it was quarter 4 of 2023, but to my knowledge, we never had like an official date behind it. So I'm excited for us to, like we don't have the official date still, but I'm excited for us to have like, a little bit of a, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it's a strong suspicion at this point. I'm going to call it a strong suspicion that it should be out the 20th, because if they're promising it by the end of the year, I don't see when else they're going to squeak an update in there,
Honestly, you're not wrong.
So, I mean, that being said, I'd be rather surprised if it didn't drop on the 20th. And I mean, it's going to change everything because we were running caves lately and we're, trying to play this delicate, fun little balance of the wolves are not quite what they used to be for caves for like OG Ark. So we ran into a little bit of a snafu, and I mean, sure, they're great and all. It's not like it's not working, but I think we're going to need something better. And we were trying to figure out, this versus that, tit for tat, trying to weigh the pros and cons of which species we think is going to be the superior caver. And our baryonyx is pretty cool, and we were talking about how like that would be super efficient once we get it in there, but it doesn't fit in a lot of the little crawl and jump, not crawl spots, but you know what I mean, the small spots. It's not going to fit through there. So with cryopods being introduced, I think it's going to open up so many more possibilities that will allow us to be more efficient in caves, more efficient in pretty much everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, I do agree. That's one of the biggest things for cryopods, or like for example, if you're going caving, you don't have to now, necessarily. I mean, you could fly your dino across the map, but some people actually just rode theirs across the map. Now you can just cryopod it up, fly with your dino there, cryopod your flyer, and then just go in.
Man, that would be much more convenient because yesterday, QC Survivor and I were going caving. I went caving yesterday with him, and then the day before with one of our new tribe mates, Aloe. He's a real cool guy, did great in the caves. We just had some bad luck, unfortunately. Went in with Joe Daddy as well. And Joe Daddy, like, books it in. We're doing the north-south caves. Oh, man, the northern south cave, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And as soon as we went in, there's like this one spot where it's a real sharp 90-degree turn, and we did not know it was there, did not do our proper research, and Joe Daddy just yeeted himself off the cliff a solid 150 meters, absolutely rocked himself in the wolf, and then just got swarmed by everything when he hit the ground. So we were panicking. We tried to go in and save him. We got split up. Things started dying. People started dying. And in our panic, both that day and yesterday, when I died and Calvin died, we had to, panic and run a wolf all the way across the map back over there. And like you're saying, man, it would be so much more convenient. I felt so bad. QC Survivor's just sitting at the bottom of the, very bottom of the cave by the artifact. And he's like, all right, all the bats are spawning, all the scorpions are spawning. If I don't move, I think I'll be okay. He had to wait for me to run from our base over by Smuggler's Peak to we were in the Carno Island cave at that point, so I had to swim the wolf all the way across the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
And yes, I almost pooped, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's where cryopods come in handy.
Absolutely. carrying around gigas and stuff. It's going to be very convenient. Rexes for meat runs, because, I mean, they're just too slow, man. I'm not trying to run a Rex all the way down the river to try to go do a meat run someplace.
Honestly, I agree with you. So, man, honestly, of course, we got a little bit of news here. But one thing, I don't even know if you know this, I haven't brought it up at all to anyone, is that they now have come out with public test servers, which is where you can test the most like new update that is coming, so they can actually fix all the changes and you'll give them feedback.
I love that. I think that that is the level of community involvement that we're looking for at this point. You know what I mean? We've been asking to be included in all of these things and know what's coming and how we can help. And this is the calling card for all of the people that have wanted to make the game a better place. Here is your chance.
Yeah, man, this is like a big improvement for the community. Like you're talking past episodes that they need to like improve their communication. Told us they would. This is one thing that I think is a big step for everyone because a lot of people can figure out these problems or they even launch on these official. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't want to be that guy, but there are people out there with very nefarious knowledge. They could do very, very, evil things with the knowledge that they have, but they choose not to because they don't want to ruin the integrity of the game. And this is an opportunity for those people to be able to come in and be like, oh yeah, by the way, that known meshing glitch and that known dupe glitch is very effective in this spot. Go ahead and fix that. Like, they can fix all of these things and, give the feedback, and they know all the tips and tricks that are the quote unquote black market moves that, Wildcard might not be too privy to.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you said, we have people that actually do that in YouTube videos now, but now that they can actually test things before they actually come out, that's going to be like huge for everyone because honestly, I think that means a lot less things that, can be duped, that can be all these little cheating things. This will definitely help.
Absolutely. And that's the way that we're going to slowly patch this. Our good friend Thoughtsy in the Discord, he and I message back and forth quite often talking about, the state of the Ark and things that could be fixed, who's in charge of what, and, just talking about things that are not quite up to par. And I think this is a huge opportunity for the people like that are insightful enough to be able to locate these issues, to just knock this stuff out. Let's make the game a better place. Let's get it back to that level where the people that are so mad they uninstalled it, let's fix that. Let's figure out how to change the testing stuff to make that not so miserable for people.
So, man, honestly, another thing is I'm kind of rounding it back here a little bit, but I wanted to get your opinion on the turkey trials or, we had to download the mod, be able to put it on our official server, right? But we used to just get updates. So do you prefer to download the mod or do you prefer them to just update it? Like, why do you think they would have did that?
I think that it is less intensive on your hard drive. It's less required. Like, there was not a whole lot to that mod, and it makes it so they don't have to mess up the spaghetti code in the process, because everybody who plays Ark, I say this every week, if you've ever played Ark more than 200 hours, then you know this. This is another one of those cases where if you've been around for an update or 12, then you know for a fact when they fix one thing, 3 more break. So they don't have to mess with the code. Nothing has to get broken. Like, there doesn't have to be a problem because you can just download the mod. And the mod is one person's project. That's a standalone thing. It shouldn't mess with the code too much and the rest of the game too much. So, I mean, I see this as nothing but a win. What about you?
Yeah, I actually do. I was just, I kind of was looking at the question because I seen it brought up on X that, people were like, why is it like this? Like, we already had an update, so why not just give it the update? Honestly, I never thought about what you said. Like, you're right. Whenever they do an update, 25 different things end up, going wrong. So let's not mess it up. Let's just, make it its own little mod and just download it. Make things a little bit more smoother. I agree.
Absolutely. And plus, think about it this way also. If at the end of the turkey trial, let's say I was always a sucker for raptor claws, so in the event that this turkey trial is a new raptor claws for me and I just flippin' love it, I can keep that mod probably, and I can use it in my single player mode with my kid, and like, we can have a grand old time with it, and that doesn't have to go away because it's a mod that I can access. If it was just an update that you take away from me, then I can't enjoy that anymore whenever I want.
My gosh. That's exactly, you know what? That was probably really their logic behind it there, is that then you're able to just keep it no matter what, and it's not just a one-time thing.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a win-win to me. And if you don't like it, you can uninstall it and remove it from your hard drive and never access it again. It's like easy as that.
Wow, pretty good there. Uh, let's see. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but like every time we go to log in to our official server, on the left-hand side by the servers, have you noticed there's a little weird thing on there?
What little weird thing?
When you go to log in, on the way left, right? Like normally there's like your favorite server, but the way left there's like a little like line type thing. Have you noticed that?
Uh, Not on the. Oh, maybe? Like the little symbol thing?
Yeah, on the way left side.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
I assumed it just meant that there was a mod active on the server.
From I also was wondering what that was. So I did a little bit of research, comments, different things like that. So we talked about cheating on Windows 10,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the Battle Eye anti-cheat.
Ooh. Tell me about Battle Eye.
So from at least from what I understand, I could be 100% wrong here anyways. But from what I understand, Battle Eye is used in Call of Duty. It's like the premier cheating system, or like anti-cheat system to most cheaters. I mean, of course, people can always still get around things because people are absolutely amazing at what they do. But
In the worst way possible.
from what I understand, it's a premier anti-cheat, and that's honestly all I know. I've heard of it.
A premier anti-cheat. Okay. So I know that like Call of Duty messed around with a few different anti-cheat software. I had seen one that like would set up mirages of people, and if you shot at the mirages too often, then it like assumed you were on some sort of cheating thing, and like would auto kill you and would auto kick you and like all these different things. So I mean, do we have any semblance of what that might look like in the grand scheme of things when you get caught, that is?
We don't. I don't think we have anything at all. So, should have did a little bit of research before I just stated that. But just so everyone knows, they do not do Call of Duty. I'm now looking at their thing, but I would say some of their key games are Rainbow Six, H1Z1, DayZ, Conan Exiles, PUBG, Fortnite. Um, I'd say kind of are their biggest games that they use for Battle Eye.
And those are not only big titles, but those are also titles that, when I think of, oh, geez, these are cheater riddled games that are just trash, like, those aren't my first thoughts. So, I mean, in my opinion, that means it does its job.
I agree. I think it at least does, that it does its job.
Well, good. Hopefully that squares off that situation so that way we don't have to, stress about the cheaters, because unfortunately a couple bad apples will spoil the bunch when it comes to a server. One duper can repetitively crash everything and make the experience more terrible than some people feel it is.
I agree.
Progress. I see progress. That's good. I'm hearing good things in these updates that lead me to believe they're making good on their promise to fix things, and I'm hoping we're going to continue to see an improved game that's going to be better off than it already is.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially, this last little bit, we've been getting the communication we need, different things like that. So, bravo to Wildcard. Keep up the great work.
Not only are we getting the communication, but we're being included in things, like being in on those testing servers and stuff. Like, they actually give a hoot about what we think again.
Is one thing they've been lacking for quite a long time.
Absolutely. And again, that was a lot of people's complaints of, you don't care about us anymore. And here they are.
So, Matt, the main point of this episode is for us to talk about one thing and one thing only, which is Burnout and Ark. One of the craziest things, I feel like the easiest thing to get. I would say easy because a lot of people I feel like get burnt out that I know, but I feel like there's a lot of easy ways or tips and tricks that are easy to get rid of burnout.
Yeah, unfortunately, burnout is something that is going to be real in any type of environment that is intensive on the mind. If it is taxing, such as work, reading books, doing hobbies of yours, any game that you may play, anything in the world you can get burned out on, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. That's totally normal, and it just means you're getting sick of the routine and you got to mix it up. And like you said, I think that there's a handful of pretty easy ways to mix things up and keep it, fresh enough that you won't get burned out, at least not horribly, because Ark is a huge game. I just read a
Yeah.
thing today that the average player, in order for a total completion, beating every boss on every map, getting every achievement, like completing the game on average takes between like 400 to 700 hours, I think it said.
Oh, really?
In that time, if you can do the same types of tasks for 4 to 700 hours, then first off, I want to talk to you about old school RuneScape. So message me about that if that's the case, if that's your shtick. But most of us are gonna probably struggle and gonna need to mix it up and keep a lot of variety during that time, if I'm not mistaken, eh?
Yeah, I definitely am gonna have to mix it up. There's no way I'm doing the same things over and over and over.
So we had a tribe mate yesterday, taking on absolutely huge, massive project, and we'll send pictures and stuff as it's getting completed. But I'm sure he would prefer to let us let him get his thing done before he has pictures taken. But one of our tribe mates took on a huge undertaking to build this massive like condominium, very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, give a spot for everyone to put their personal items so no one gets things mixed up. And we're getting to that stage now where you got cool things and you want to keep them. So he was grinding like a champion, and the size of the structure he built on official in one day is first off amazing, and second off, I don't blame him when he was saying that he wanted to bang his head against the wall at the end of it, because it was a lot. It's a lot. Not everybody enjoys doing the 10,000 stone runs and 30,000 wood in a sitting and stuff like that. That's not fun for everybody, myself included. So he wanted to mix it up, and he put it absolutely best for beating Burnout. And he said, I need to do something fun. That's really what it boils down to, is what do you enjoy doing in this game? And how can you best accomplish that while having fun?
Yeah, honestly, I think that you said having fun is just one of the key things, especially for me, man. Like, when I'm getting bored of doing something, like I want to go do something that I like doing. For example, if I'm sitting there flying around the map looking for a Quetzal, which we still don't have on our PVE official server, of course we don't. And if I'm sitting around looking for like 2 hours, and then I start, man, my head just starts hurting because like this is so irritating, And then, okay, what else can we use to maybe help the base? Can I go get pearls? Can I go tame a 150? Can I even go breed? Just something that like makes my energy get back up instead of me being like, man, I've been on here for 2 hours. I'm done with this game. There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah, there are so many different things. Like you said, just so many different categories of things that you can completely mix it up, have a whole new adventure, and not have to think twice about it. I honestly think that it helps too to have like, I don't want to call it a punishment. I don't want to call it a consequence. I don't want to put like a negative connotation on it. But if I catch myself what I call running laps at the base, I just sprint around and do parkour and try to jump on certain dinosaurs and like do just silly stuff. If I catch myself slipping into that, I have go-tos. I either A, go on a metal run, B, go on a cementing paste run, or I will start grinding something. So I don't like to grind. So that being said, I like to find ways to keep myself busy so I don't have to deal with that quote-unquote consequence that I'll give myself.
Honestly, I think that I also have go-tos. It also depends, man, because honestly, there's certain days that I feel like, this is my go-to, and then other days where I'm like, this is my go-tos. Like, so I really feel like I change things up quite a bit. So I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, and I mean, that's good because you don't want to have the same go-to all the time, or again, that go-to is going to get boring.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
There are 10 different artifacts on the island. Learn the caves. Once you learn those caves, hit them again and again and again and again, and you'll memorize it out eventually. The way the hordes spawn in, it's going to be different most of the time that you go in there. So, I mean, like, yeah, it's going to be the same general outline, but you can have different adventures doing the same thing repetitively,
Yeah, and I feel like especially for you, as of recently, caves have been the biggest thing for you to just go and you're like, oh, I'm sitting here running around the base, and then someone will be like, well, hey, you want a cave? And you'll be like, yes, of course. And you just spend your time doing that, and next thing you know, it's time for bed.
Yes, we have fallen into that trap so many times recently. Yesterday was
I s-
one of those where, once again, just bored, chilling around the base, and all of a sudden, a couple tribe mates are like, "Hey, you trying to go caving?" Went down with Calvin and QC Survivor, and we ended up hitting 4 caves back to back to back to back, and we stopped in the fourth one because we couldn't find the artifact, and it was like 2 in the morning. So we were like, "Oh, we messed up. We need to go back and go to bed."
and that's what I'm saying. You kind of just lose track of time, especially when you're having fun. Before that, like sitting there like, oh, what am I gonna do? Right? I'm just gonna run around the base and do my parkour. Next thing you know, bedtime. I'm telling you, there's ways, many different ways, especially in this game. There's so many things you can do to be able to cure that burnout or not even have it.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's okay to not have a goal. You know what I mean? It's okay to just say, today I want to get on and I want to look at my cute little dinosaurs and I want to do parkour. Like, that's okay if that's your goal for today. Every now and then, that's not a problem. You need to just chill out and relax, even in a game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, some people are really like the aesthetics of games, right? Like, I know you really care about what aesthetics looks like, the foliage or whatever looks, the water and different things, right? Like, sometimes, who knows? Maybe you can just sit there and take pictures and pretend like you're a photographer, because Ark's new photo system, you can get some really cool photos, man. It's pretty awesome, aesthetically pleasing. And I'm not even that big into aesthetics, but I do think the photo system is pretty awesome.
Dude, it's really awesome. They did a really good job with the way they set it up, and there's a couple things that I would like to say I'd like to tweak, but at the same time, I wonder if it's just me not fully understanding how the system works yet. And I think that with a little bit more practice, I will probably enjoy it a lot more than I already do.
hmm
Have you
And,
fig-
honestly,
have you figured out a way to in photo mode to actually take the photo? Cuz I take a screenshot after I get it all set up like a dingus. So is there like a photo button or a snap button that I'm missing somewhere?
no, honestly, there is, right? But I've also not figured it out, but I was messing with it the other day and just randomly clicking buttons because it was irritating me, even though it is very cool. But I was trying to figure out buttons to also take those snapshots or whatever. And I'm 90% sure there is a way. I don't know what I did, but I'm pretty sure it said, like, whatever button to click to get the photo. But I don't know what that is. So honestly, anybody listening, first off, if you made it this far, thank you. But second off, if you know how to take a photo on console, let us know because we want to take some cool photos for you guys.
Yeah. There's been a handful of moments that I've had that have just been fantastic photo opportunities, but it's tough to get the timing down with the screenshot button on the Xbox. It's not necessarily the most favorable option.
Definitely not.
But I mean, it's cool. I think that the more we learn about it, the more we're going to be able to, because I haven't even messed around with the real settings on it. There's all these cool settings like the shutter speed and ISO filters and stuff like that. And I took a photography class in high school, but that was, a couple minutes ago, so I don't really remember a whole lot. Lots of learning to do.
Yeah, that's fair. And another thing I kind of want to bring up, or the burnout part of it here is it is okay to do things for yourself, or it is okay that you do not focus on your tribe if you're in a tribe because maybe you're not in a tribe. But it is okay to focus on things for yourself. Like if you want to build yourself a little base, like, oh, hey guys, I'm going to build a little base today. I'm going to do this. Like, you are okay to do things for yourself. You don't always have to worry about your tribe mates, you know. So just make sure you guys please yourself at times.
Yeah, and part of that honestly includes playing different games. It is okay, and I want to say it again for the folks in the back. It is okay to not play Ark every single day. If you are in a tribe, if you are a solo tribe and you feel like playing a different game tonight and they guilt you for that, then shame on them and they're not good tribe mates. because it's 100% okay to check out and do something totally different if that's what you need to do to enjoy your life.
Yeah, honestly, you don't even just have like you said, like Matt said, you just don't have to play Ark. There's other games. Ease your mind for the night, even if it's for 2 nights. Just ease your mind. I understand PvP players. I would be very stressed getting off the game because you have to be at your base constantly, or next thing you know, it's blown up. Especially if you're a smaller tribe. I mean, if you're a bigger tribe, right, you have that time to relax. Like Matt said, if they kick you out or if they do, are mad at you, then you're probably not even needed in that tribe because that's not cool. It makes the game no fun.
100%. That's an unfair amount of pressure.
Like you're working another job.
It sure is. Sorry, I was being attacked by a jellyfish. I went into the ocean like a dumb butt as I'm recording, and I'm over here panicking. I was being attacked by a jellyfish.
And that right there is why I could probably never play the game. I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play the game and record tonight. And I'm like, you know what? I'll sit there and freeze so many times. Like you've only, you just were getting attacked by a jellyfish and it only happened one time. But I'm telling you, it would have at least happened 25 times. I can't do it.
Yeah, I've tried so hard to remain focused and multitask. I promised QC Survivor that I would go and collect a buttload of silica pearls last night. I don't remember why I promised it. I don't remember what we were trying to do. But I remember he told me I needed a lot. So here I am getting a lot and looking for an anglerfish in the process. I had one. I almost had it tranked and knocked down. And then a bunch of eels came out of nowhere. And I may or may not have panicked and swam off.
Anytime you see an eel in the water, run. That is the worst animal in all of Ark.
Yeah, they come so aggressively now. Like I feel like they used to be a lot slower and more like stationary and survival evolved. And in Survival Ascended, every time I have seen one, they are sprinting at me like a World War Z zombie, and I do not appreciate it.
I think they're faster than any dino in the game, man, because those things sprint.
Yeah, and they take no prisoners when they do, I swear.
Literally, next thing you know, there's 30 of them on you, and your team's done for.
Jellyfish, too. Jellyfish will quickly ruin your day.
Yes. Yes, at least they're a little bit slower, though.
That's true. I just flat out hate jellyfish. I hate them in real life, hate them in this game. Just hate them, period.
I agree. So, Matt, we talked a little bit about Burnout. Is there anything else that you kind of want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I feel silly because it was our main title content, and I feel like it was so cut and dry. But to be completely honest with you, it's not. It doesn't need to be as serious as it's made out to be sometimes, unfortunately. And I think that if you're feeling burnt out, that is okay. That's your brain telling you that you need to mix it up. And you only live one time, so don't spend it fixated on a game that in the end is still going to be here for you. This game will still be here in 6 years. It will still be here in 5 years. But the memories and the moments that you can enjoy today may not be. So I want to end with the word of advice that stay in the moment. And if playing this game is what will make you happy in the moment, absolutely do it. But if you're feeling burnt out and you're feeling like you need a break and it's just not doing it for you anymore, you only have to come back often enough to make sure things don't starve or auto-decay. Aside from that, in PvE, you've got no real, commitment. PvP, like Jericho said, is different. You gotta be active, you gotta be near the base. Hopefully you have tribe mates. But if you're a PvE player especially, don't let yourself get burned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Kind of a few things that I wanted to add here at the end was, just a few, little highlights of what things that you guys could do. You guys could go tame. You guys could go breed, just like the other day we have Ella who just joined our tribe. That man helped us with, watching babies. He had the dino daycare for, 5 hours straight.
Legendary.
Rupert, thank you to him. You can go get pearls. You can go get any sort of materials. You could build yourself something, just for yourself. Like, hey, I want to go build a shotgun today. Or I would just want to go fishing all day. I just want to stare at the base. There's things like that. You can not play the game. Like Matt said, just take a little break for a few days or even however long you want to take it to ease your mind. And some things that I like to do is just, listen to music. Like music while you're playing the game. course, gotta have the game sound on because animals still may come and get you. So be aware of that. Gotta have the game sound on no matter what. But listen to some music, or honestly, if you want, just spend the time talking with your tribe mates. Like, hey, today I'm taking a day off, but let's still have a conversation. Let's just chat it up. Sometimes people just need a good conversation to hear their burnout a little bit and hear people's stories about how fun the game is.
Yeah, to be honest with you, that's the real purpose of having a tribe, in my opinion. Like, sure, it's great to have somebody to help out with dino daycare. It's fantastic to have somebody helping out as much as they are with building and material gathering. And, like, those are all huge perks that make tribes so beneficial. But the camaraderie is what this game needs. The community building is what this game is all about for a lot of people. Even my grumpy, introverted self really, really, really appreciates meeting new people, making connections, trades, things like that. That's what this game's all about. So relish in those moments. Don't shy away from them. You know what I mean?
100%, I agree.
Do you think? Do you think having tribe mates in general is a recommendation to avoid burnout?
I definitely think that having tribe mates overall can help not have burnout just due to the fact of having more people, especially in PvP. Like having more people is better because then you're actually able to take a break and nobody's as worried. But if you have only a few amount, like even with an extra few amount of people, even if you're just like a tribe of 3, still feel like you can get off. I think tribe mates are a big key to help your burnout.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that kept me going for so long back on Survival Evolved was the simple fact of when you don't feel like playing, like that's again okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But if all 3 of you in your tribe, you got a 3-man tribe and all 3 of you are just not feeling it right now, you just this week you have a lot going on, that's okay. Having multiple tribe mates allows you to, like I said, you have to come back to make sure things don't despawn and to make sure things don't starve to death. So if you have multiple tribe mates, one of you take a turn every 2 days, and boom, you got 6 days right there that you can all just check out. And after 6 days, chances are you're going to come back ready to rock and roll. I mean, that's a decent break. I don't know. Each person's different. So, I mean, what you're going to need for your burnout cure is totally up to you. But I would like to think that that would be a relatively huge little breaky poo.
Yeah, I think that break would probably cure quite a bit if you had anything that you had for burnout.
And, at the end of the day, if you just can't do it anymore and you need to take a break and you don't have anyone to keep your base from auto-decaying, that's okay too. Sometimes the grind is what people like, other times it's what scares you away from trying again. But worst case scenario, you can always go to an unofficial server. You can mess around there with boosted rates, different mods and things like that that would help with some of the burnout. You can find servers on Facebook and things like that that will have different events going on. So if you feel like getting into a Squid Games match or a random assortment of different PvP type things. We talked about raptor jousting and races and PvP base rating competitions and things like that. There's all sorts of different weird things you can do to break up the monotony and hopefully give you that little breaky poo.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, you just nailed it. Bang, right on the coffin.
Boom.
Or right on wherever the wall, whatever.
Yeah, take that, put that coffin on a wall and roast it.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get off my soapbox and say that's really all I've got to say about burnout. I wanted to talk a teensy bit about some of the stuff that's been going on in the PvE server because we're doing awesome things. We're taming awesome things, and I sort of want to give credit where it's due to all the hard work that's going on there.
Yeah, I think that's a great. I'll add in a couple things after you're done too.
So, I mean, you're going to have to help me out here because so much has happened and I have the memory of a small child. But first off, caving. We have multiple artifacts. We're getting 3 at a time, almost 4 at a time. So we're starting to master a few of the caves, which means we're going to be ready to absolutely rock and roll when we get everything boosted enough for boss fights. So that's promising. QC Survivor is a workhorse. He's the guy that's doing all this building
Yep.
and all the material gathering to do that building. He's had a lot of help from Aloe lately, he came into the tribe. He's relatively new to the tribe and to the Discord, but he came in hitting the ground running. Went caving with me on day one in a cave he had never been to before. He's constantly bringing good ideas, good humor, and just good fun. He's an all-around good guy. So I'm very happy with where we are as a tribe. Joe Daddy, he's another one who's been busting butt every time he gets on. He's always up for the adventure, and boy howdy, he lets us feed him to carcass, so he's a good sport about it all.
Yep.
Who am I missing?
You're missing the man, Cal.
Cal. How could I forget Cal? Poor guy builds us a giant breeding pen just for us to, like, as soon as he finishes it. He spent like an entire night building it, and as soon as he finished it, we're like, fantastic, let's move it across the river. He's like, what?
Yeah, that would be so sad. He's been kind of the one, but he's been doing quite a bit of taming for us too. He got a Megatherium, then I got one, so we got a breeding pair of Megatheriums now, which is awesome. We bred those the other day. Now we got babies.
Yes.
Like I kind of shouted out, Aloe taking care of the 10 different babies on our official server, because awesome, shout out for him for that. And
Absolutely.
just we got a red raptor, kind of started a raptor line, and then after we got the raptors, QC Survivor was really hyped about them, and he said, actually these things suck in the cave, so I'm done with these things. But he just tamed a saber tooth and traded for a saber tooth today, so that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was sick. That's good because
Yeah, and then
the wolves we were talking about weren't quite up to what we were hoping they would be. They're good. They're good enough, especially mate boosted and pack boosted, but like, eh. So we had tried the raptors, and we weren't too thrilled with the performance of the raptors. So I mean, I'm very excited to see what the sabers are going to do. I keep saying that I would like to get some Thylas and trade for some Thylas, but I mean, sabers are definitely going to get the job done while we're waiting on that.
yeah, I agree. Sabers should be able to do enough, especially with the saddle.
100%. Yeah, we have an Ascendant saddle, I'm pretty sure, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah. And then so we got a bunch of fridges now. We got the Indie Forge, and we just made a chem bench today. We're kind of, getting to the more advanced here to be able to, produce anything that we want.
Yeah, and that right there is the dream. That's what we're vying for, is to just have the comfort to be able to do what we want. We're almost there level wise to be able to, like I just today was able to craft scuba gear so I can, go in this hellhole that is an ocean. Ugh. We're getting to the point where we're getting these quality of life things that are just going to make the game so much easier to play.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong. That's the best part of it, is that we're able to get these quality of life things that's going to be able to boost a lot of things. Honestly, now that we have ways to get
Holy
pearls with the dolphin
Sorry.
or the itchy, and now that we have ways to get pearls, I think our electronics, are going to be a lot easier. Or we might even put some turrets up eventually, just for the wild dinos that come by. Even though there's barely that come by.
Yeah, but when they do come, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that there's barely any, because there's been a couple times we've had two cars drop off the mountain out by our base, and Calvin told us the other day that we had a literal Rex spawn inside of our gates. Like, sure, maybe I got a little overzealous and made the gates too big, because that's what I'm hearing there, but our turf was so big that we had a Rex spawn inside our walls.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, I had that happen to me too. And just a little plug here. We are starting up our PVE official episodes. I want everyone to know the first two are, I'll be honest, are a little rough because I forgot to record audios for them while doing it. So it's kind of little late. So they're not great. Who knows if Matt even wants me to post them. We'll have to talk about it after this episode. But either way, go check out the Stranded Survivors YouTube. We're posting YouTube shorts as daily as we can. We're posting also on TikTok. We're posting TikToks on TikTok at Stranded Survivors. So, go check those out, to be honest. And join us in our Discord, because the Discord lately has been popping off. So shout out to everyone that's been joining the Discord as Stranded Survivors. We appreciate you. And thank you guys for being active.
Yeah, our Discord is getting to the spot where I always hoped it would be. You know what I mean? We got people that are making friends and chit chatting throughout the day, and it's nice to wake up and see the good morning messages from people and know that everybody's vibing. It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, we're building a great community in our Discord and just great community overall.
Absolutely. Everybody who's a part of it, I 100% appreciate you, and I'm very thankful that you're here.
Well, guys, today, we kind of went over what's been happening with the turkey trials and, make sure to go check out all the socials. And the main topic today was burnout. If you guys think there's anything that we need to know about burnout or maybe some things you do for burnout in Ark or even just in general, let us know. Let us know in the Discord. Let us know. Maybe Matt's going to put up a post. I don't know for the Spotify. But if you listen this far, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. I probably will get shocked by an eel here and pause mentally. I probably will post a question up in the episode, and I think the obvious one is going to be, what is your go-to to avoid burnout? It's a very real problem, and a lot of people fall prey to it. So the more the merrier when it comes to good ideas to avoid those pitfalls. So how do you avoid becoming burnt out, and how do you mix it up when you're finding yourself struggling with the monotony of the day? Aside from that, we've got the links in the description below. Feel free to hop in our Discord and join that fantastic community that we were talking so much about. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and getting to know you.
Survivors, thank you very much for tuning in to the 10th episode of Stranded Survivors. Yes, this is the 10th episode, and we figured burnout was a very key episode for you guys to know about so you guys are not burnt out and can play this awesome game. Thank you guys for listening to episode 10, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.